Hello, welcome to the webinar. Today, we're going to be talking about the benefits of a composable CMS. My name is Dave Bezuidenhout. I am a technical solution architect here at ImageX, and with me I have Cassio.
Thank you so much, Dave. Hi, everyone. I am Cassio Almeida. I am the software developer manager here at ImageX, and I'm pretty excited to talk today.
So what we'll cover today is what a composable CMS is, how it works. We're going to be talking about Drupal specifically as a composable CMS. So what can Drupal do that your current CMS perhaps can't? And we'll be talking about how to choose a flexible CMS like Drupal. So to start off, what is a composable CMS? So we'll start with a little bit of background and talk about what a monolithic CMS versus headless, and finally get onto what a composable CMS is. So a monolithic CMS is really the traditional approach to kind of any software, and that is really a monolithic piece of code that does everything that it needs to do. And it's really an all-in-one system that's made up of the backend, which connects to the database, the front end and templates, along with any CSS that creates that presentation layer, and any other code and plugins that provide different features, and it's all kind of assembled into a single element. It's tightly coupled, so the front end and back end are interconnected. They're really integrated. So certainly previously you might have code and presentation mixed together in the templates. And it's really suitable, or certainly was suitable, more for smaller sites and straightforward conventional kind of sites. A more recent generation of sites is really the headless CMS, and it's kind of the opposite of a monolithic CMS because it has the backend and front end presentation layer apart, and it connects those two things together via an API integration. So the backend is still responsible for managing content and connecting with databases and APIs, but the front end is essentially a completely different entity. It can be built on a different software stack, typically some kind of JavaScript framework, and connects to the backend via an API and potentially other APIs as well, providing those additional services. This is suitable for complex sites and kind of multi-channel use where you have a single content management point, a single repository for content, and multiple front ends, whether that's a mobile app or a web app, maybe multiple websites. It can be a somewhat expensive venture because essentially you'll have at least two teams typically working on the entire website. One will be concerned with the back end, and the others will be building and maintaining the front end applications. Moving on to the composable CMS, this is kind of the best of both worlds. You still have that back end that is managing content, it's connecting with databases and APIs, but it's a modular system with components so you can essentially build the kind of CMS that you need. It can have some front-end templates and essentially that front-end layer as well, so it can still behave like a monolithic CMS and provide, for example, the main website, but also connects to front-end applications. Those might be multi-channel applications, mobile apps, and so forth. Components can include different content management tools, front-end presentation frameworks, perhaps, and other API-powered services that might be complementary to what the CMS itself does. So I'm going to hand over to Cassio to talk about how it works.
Thank you so much, Dave. So it works basically by using composable architecture. And composable architecture is a design principle, software design principle that emphasizes the ability to break down complex systems into smaller, isolated, and reusable components that can integrate to create a larger system that scales. There are 4 steps to engage into composable architecture, which are understand ecosystem, assess need for composability, architect, build, and repeat. So Examples of the benefits of that approach is that you can choose from a range of pre-built components and modules that you can combine and customize as you need. It can create custom content and workflows without having to rebuild your entire application and website. It helps you to share your data and services to front-end applications like a mobile application through APIs. It enables content to flow both ways with custom integrations. And it also helps you to create data structures that and represents your audience needs. The good news is that if you are using Drupal, you already have a composable CMS. Given Drupal modular architecture, it allows you to select and combine individual components that meet your specific needs. So, is your CMS really composable? It is hard to tell, especially with the proprietary solutions that we have in the marketing, because they claim to be flexible and scalable, but in reality, we never know because they are closed source solutions, so we don't have any access on how they work. So it means that you can very quickly outgrow a closed source non-composable solution. So passing back to Dave to talk about how Drupal can help us with that.
Thanks, Cassio. So I'm going to dive into the 3 reasons to choose a composable CMS: flexibility, scalability, and extensibility. So as far as flexibility, there's a few things that we want to make sure that we're able to do with the CMS. The first is creating and managing content. The second, customizing workflows. The third, integration with third-party tools and platforms. And the fourth is offering a multilingual experience. Now, there are a bunch of other things as well, essentially features that we want to be able to include in a solution. But just going back and talking about what Drupal can do in each of these items. So with Drupal, it's easy to create and manage multiple different types of content and organize those in various formats. So you can include obviously text, images, video, and documents, and you can have those on a modular basis that you can reuse. Managing workflows, Drupal's workflow management tool allows you to design and customize your content creation and publishing workflows very easily, and you can customize it to your needs. Integration with third-party tools and platforms. There's a lot of modules that provide existing integrations with third-party tools, things like analytics, many different CRMs, HR platforms, membership portals, and obviously things like payment gateways. So you can create a customized solution. Drupal has a very powerful multilingual capability. It can provide the ability to support multiple languages that can be fully configured both on the front end and back end, and provides your team with the way to either fully control translations, have machine translations, and provide inline real-time translations. So scalability, where it's important, is the ability to grow in multiple dimensions. You've got to be able to support a growing user base, not just the audience, but also your internal users to be able to log in and manage content. Just the amount of content that you're going to be managing over time, the increase in traffic for the increase in users, number of files, number of integrations, and just generally the number of features. Now, as those things grow, you might start to find that your CMS has performance issues. With something like Drupal open source solutions, you really don't have any built-in caps that prevent you from growing beyond a certain size of content or users. The only thing really preventing growth is the underlying hosting resources. So you can increase that and essentially have no limits to the size of your solution over time. So extensibility is really the ability to take the CMS that you have, the solution, and modify it the way that you want. So being able to take a feature and maybe modify it so that it meets your needs, or create your own feature. With proprietary CMSs, You don't have too many options in this regard. Often you'll need to submit a feature request and hope that they include that in the CMS at some point in the future. Sometimes that may not happen, but with open source solutions like Drupal, you have full control of the CMS source code. So you can actually go in, if necessary, and create your own feature. You can contract an agency like ImageX to do that for you. Perhaps you can get a couple of peer organizations together and jointly create a new feature that meets your needs. So I'll hand back to Cassio to talk about choosing a flexible CMS like Drupal.
Thank you so much, Dave. So choosing a CMS like Drupal means that you have a future-proof digital strategy. So you might need a simple monolithic solution right now, but you want to ensure that you have a strong foundation that will help you in the future. Drupal can do that. Or you can go with like a headless website where you need to share your data across multiple channels as a website or a mobile application. Drupal can also help you with that. So a flexible CMS, composable CMS like Drupal will give you what you need today and support you no matter what the future might hold. So if you have any question, feel free to email myself and Dave, and we'll be more than happy to help you with anything else. Thank you so much.